Hi, my peeps. How are you doing? Welcome to Mudani's Mission. And today I want to answer a question that I've been asked so many times on my email and on my DMs in my social media. And a couple of weeks ago, like a month ago, I spoke about my experience dating a narcissist. So most of the emails I receive are about your experience. I am dating this guy, he does this to me, he's cheating on me, he's being abusive, he's narcissistic, I'm married to this man, I'm married to this woman, is it a toxic relationship? I get those questions so many times. Should I leave? Kwanza hiyo swali ya, should I leave him? What do I do? Mudhani, should I leave him? I cannot tell you whether to leave or to stay. I can just empower you with the information I have from my experiences, and it's up to you to decide if you can take it, or you want to work on your marriage, or you want to stay knowing that person is abusive or is toxic. It's up to you what you do with that information. How toxic a relationship is depends on the magnitude of the damage, the consistency of these harmful things. Anybody could find themselves in a toxic relationship or in a toxic situation. So if you're in a toxic situation, it's okay. It is okay. These things happen. It's life, things that we don't like happen, and bad things happen to good people. It is okay. Toxic relationships could happen to strong people, those people you think are strong and they can't date people who are toxic. It happens. So the number one sign to know if you're in a toxic relationship is if the bad outweighs the good. If the bad outweighs the good, if it feels bad most of the time. If you were to write a list of the good and the bad, if the bad is way too long, if that list is way too long compared to the good, then you're in a toxic relationship. Chances are you are in a toxic relationship. You're constantly angry, you're constantly sad, you're always crying. Either you're not talking to one another, either you did something, they did something to you. It's always chaotic. It drains you. When the bad outweighs the good, chances are you're in a toxic relationship. Love is a beautiful thing. Relationships should be happy. It should be your safe place. It shouldn't be that place where that's where you're getting the stress from. That's where your depression is coming from. That should not be the case. And actually, half of the women in prison and half of the women in mental facilities have been in toxic relationships. These things can mess you up. A toxic relationship can mess you up mentally. Someone can get you to a point where you're committing crimes, you're committing murder, and even in some situations, you lose your life, your children's lives. So if the bad outweighs the good, it's probably time to take a close look at your relationship. Yeah. Number 2, if you're scared to speak your mind, like you have no voice, you do not have a voice. You cannot say what you want, you cannot speak your mind. You have no voice. Because your opinions are ridiculed, because your opinions mean nothing, because you're just a pretty face, because who do you think you are? If you have no voice, if you cannot say, I hear you, but this is what I was thinking. If you cannot even say that, or how about we can go where you want, but how about I pass by whatever for 20 minutes and then I go with you where you want. If you cannot speak your mind, if it's constantly about don't wear that, you can't even choose what you're gonna wear. You can't even choose your children's schools. You have no voice. You're practically an object in that house. If you don't have a voice, you cannot speak your mind. If you cannot say no, it's probably time to say no to that relationship. You are constantly walking on eggshells. You're constantly walking on eggshells. So this relationship could end anytime. You could be on the wrong anytime. They could get angry and go quiet for 2 weeks anytime. You don't know where this relationship is going. You don't know what you are to one another. You don't know if when Wambui comes back to the country, they will start another relationship. You're just like on the weighing machine. Anything, whatever, you're liquid. Anything could just flow on whatever direction. If you're walking on eggshells, if you always have that sunken feeling in your stomach, if you don't know what next, if you cannot even see the future, if you are constantly worried, you don't know where you stand in this relationship, you don't know where this relationship is going, you don't know your goals for this relationship, you don't know your plans for weekends. He could decide he doesn't want to talk to you this weekend. He could decide to block you. He could decide to leave on Thursday and come on Tuesday. For example, if you're married, if you're constantly walking on eggshells, it's probably time to reevaluate that relationship. When you find yourself in a relationship where you keep apologizing for things you didn't even do, I received a DM from a lady, I don't want to say her name, and I remember she was telling me she went through her boyfriend's phone and found that he was having an affair with another woman, and now he's mad at her for a whole week for going through his phone. Like, it's no longer about this, what she found, because he has another affair. It's about, why did you go through my phone? Now she has been apologizing for a whole week. You understand? If you keep apologizing, you're constantly on the wrong. You have to, if you even see something, you can't call it out because it's your fault for seeing it, for calling it out. If you constantly apologizing for things that you don't even do, for his mistakes, you have to apologize for feeling the way you're feeling. If he's hurt you, he's cheated on you, he's beaten you, and you're angry, maybe he's chapered you and you've called the mother-in-law. Now you've umekosea. Why did you call the mother-in-law? Now it stops being about they beat you or they pushed you to the wall to do what you did, to protect yourself. You know what I mean? If you keep apologizing, and in most cases, in toxic relationships, you realize you don't solve issues. You, for example, for that lady I've talked about, he is cheating on you, you call him out, now he's angry because you went through his phone. I'm not saying going through the phone is okay, because I also have a problem with that. But then, let's address the issue. You're cheating on me. Wachana na story. At this point, we're not talking about the phone. But to a toxic party, to a toxic person, the issue is you went through their phone. So, chances are you won't solve this issue, because now he's angry that you went through his phone and found out he's cheating. So, you're here apologizing. So, when he comes back, you can't even bring that issue again. They play with your mind. Anyway, this one joins with the one I've talked about, the lady who went through her man's phone. Invasion of privacy. If your privacy is so invaded, you have nothing private about you. They go through your bank statements. They have tracked your car. They know everywhere you're going. When you come at night, they stalk your phone, who you chatted with, who you called. They even tell you to call them back so they can prove you talked to a woman, not a man. You understand? If there is invasion of privacy where you're not allowed to have your own private space as Muthoni, then there are signs. It's a sign. It's a toxic relationship. I want to talk about how sometimes we glorify love too much. And the way I understand it, there are 3 components that make a relationship, like respect, affection, and trust. That's why I find that, like in my emails, those who send me emails, oh, he's cheating on me, but I love him, I can't leave him. Oh, he's beating me, but I can't leave him, I love him. Well, how about he's disrespecting you? How about he's broken the trust? You cannot trust him again. How about that? How about you love him, he's cheating on you? How about he's supposed to show you affection, but he's showing that affection to other women? So I understand trust, affection, and respect are really important. Love is good, and love is amazing, and you feel those butterflies and those things, but it cannot sustain that relationship without trust, without respect, and without affection. Also, can a toxic partner change? Can we turn around this relationship? Maybe that's what you're asking yourself. You can, only if both parties are willing to work at it. You can if you realize, wow, our relationship, something is not right. You can if you decide to go back to the drawing board and look at what happened along the way. Because in most cases, by the time it's becoming toxic, there is a string of things that were not done right or unresolved issues that probably you need to look at to lead to this toxicity. If both parties are willing to work for this relationship, it could get better. You could also get help in terms of therapy, go to therapy, both of you, or even one party. But I remember my boyfriend telling me, when one person wants to go for therapy, it's usually important for you as a partner to accompany them. Sometimes we feel, me, I don't have a problem, she has anger issues, but it's good to accompany them for support. I remember Michelle Obama saying, I watched Oprah tour 2020, beginning of 2020, World Vision Tour something. Michelle Obama said there's a time during the campaign period that she was so stressed and their marriage was on the rocks. She could not understand how Barack found time to go to the gym, to play golf, when she was busy with the campaign and with the children. And when they went for therapy, she went for therapy knowing Barack was the problem, Obama was the problem. And the therapist told them, Barack was not the problem, Michelle was the problem. She was putting her happiness on Obama. So Obama is huku playing golf, he's still going to the gym in the midst of campaign. Whereas Michelle is waiting for Obama to make her happy. He's busy making himself happy. My point is, therapy is important, and even if you feel it's not your fault, support your partner. So I was saying, I remember my boyfriend telling me that we were discussing about this therapy thing, and I was saying most partners feel like one of the partners feel like this one has a problem, so you should be the one to go for therapy. And I remember him telling me one partner should not go for therapy because you're not in that relationship alone. It's good to give that support, So if both parties are willing to work, you can decide as a couple, so the abuse is too much, the verbal abuse, the emotional abuse. If both of you want to work, and you can decide, let's start communicating like this, let's respect one another, let's put this boundary, let's rebuild the trust. It is absolutely possible. It can be done. Number 2, you could go for therapy, seek help. Talk maybe to someone you respect. Talk maybe to a counselor, a therapist, or an elder somewhere who will not take sides, who will listen to you. So you can seek a third party. That's what I mean. Number 3, you might have to walk away from the toxicity, especially if it's taking a toll on your mental health. You're taking antidepressants, you're constantly worried, you have self-esteem issues. You probably need to walk away, and then maybe to work on yourself alone as you walk away, and then maybe it will give you, it will enable you to know whether you want to go back, if you really need to work on this relationship, or if you want to go to leave completely. Notice concerns from friends and family, because in most cases when you're in a toxic relationship, you get used to it and it paralyzes you. You don't realize it's bad until when you talk to someone else and you see their reaction or their expression, and you realize it's that bad. It's really bad, And in most cases, people who are in toxic relationships are usually in denial. They've already stayed in that relationship. They don't know anything else. That is what they know. So listen to concerns from friends and family. And especially in most toxic relationships, you realize you're isolated from most of your friends and family members. Like in most cases, the toxic party will make you feel they're the only person you need, and you don't need your family, your other friends. You know what I mean? Listen to those concerns. When you get used to this abuse, this toxicity, I don't want to say addicted. You get used to it, it paralyzes. You don't realize it's happening. You don't realize it's that bad until someone else calls it out. Relationships and love is supposed to be beautiful. There are fights, and it could get ugly, but the bad should not outweigh the good. It's your safe place. And you should not let a relationship ruin the beautiful parts of you. The person who is Modoni. You should not let a relationship ruin who you are as a person. Kill you as a person. Kill your fire, You should enjoy being in a relationship. It should be happy, as much as there are challenges, as much as you're different, as much as everyone is fighting their own battles, Anyone could be toxic. That's what I'm saying. You could work on the relationship and realize, by the way, this is not right and we need to change this. Anyone could be toxic, but realize it. Realize it. And number one, no one is responsible for your own happiness except you. Number two, don't lose yourself because of a relationship. And fighting to hold on to a relationship that is not fighting to hold on to you will ruin you, kabisa. Sometimes the best way and the best thing to do is to move on, is to live and to move on with grace, with love, and you will be okay. Thank you for watching. I hope I've answered your question. If probably your relationship has all those things I've mentioned, like you're constantly scared, you keep apologizing, you're always on the wrong, you have esteem issues, there's abuse, he beats you, maybe she calls you names, you probably need to evaluate your relationship to know if you want to work on it as the both of you, if you realize you want to work on it, if you want to seek help from another person, or you need to walk away. Thank you for watching. My name is Muthoni Mukiri. You have been watching Muthoni's Mission. Let's meet at the comment section. Let us discuss more points. Talk to me about what you think about today's topic and what is toxicity to you, your experience with toxicity. Have you been in a toxic relationship? What was it like for you? And today, let's hear success stories. Have your relationship ever gotten to that point you felt it was toxic and you worked towards recovery? What was it like? Let's meet down in the comment section. Please subscribe and please share this information. And thank you for watching.